Hello, good afternoon, all of you. Thank you for joining in. Today, we have a session on tax planning with National Pension System. I am Tanay, and today we have with us our esteemed guests, Mr. Sri Kumar P, who is the Chief Distribution Officer from ICICI Prudential Pensions, and Mr. Shivakumar K, who is the Chief Investment Officer from ICICI Prudential. Welcome to both of you, sir. So today we are going to have an educative session on tax planning with NPS. The attendees, you can ask your questions in the chat box. We'll be taking your queries towards the end of the session. So to start with, my first question to Mr. Sri will be that, sir, what is NPS and what are its key benefits?
First, thank you all for joining. NPS is the most talked product today in the industry. It's been the brainchild of PFRDA. While PFRDA introduced this plan, the National Pension System is unique, a pension scheme which is launched by Government of India, which allows all citizens of India who are in the age bracket of 18 to 70 to plan an effective retirement plan through a safe and reasonable market-based return. So that's a nutshell of NPS, but NPS also offers many other plus side of it. NPS offers flexibility for investors while they're investing. NPS offers an investment return, which is one of the best today in the market. As I mentioned, because of its flexibility and the investment avenues which is available for an investor under the pension scheme, which is PFRDA designed for NPS. But this comes with a benefit of opening a PRAN. That's where it's all gets started, a permanent retirement account number for all citizens of India. So this PRAN can be opted through a POP, which is currently in ICICI Securities offers a PRAN number. Once an individual procures a PRAN, that is when his actual journey of NPS starts. And for thereby, there are a lot of benefits which is offers today on an NPS. Of course, I mentioned about the return what is offers, the transparency which has been brilliant, one of the best product across globally in terms of the rates at which operates. So probably the most economical products today available across globally, and any Indian can be very proud that India is offering such a product with a lot of benefits. When I say a lot of benefits, it offers also multiple tax benefit. So at nutshell, once can start an NPS with a PRAN, which can be obtained through a POP. And once he generates a PRAN, he can start investing into his pension fund, which help him to inculcate a regular investment habit throughout his life to create an annuity plan for him.
Okay. So, sir, we'd like to know more what are the tax benefits that one can avail in NPS and who all can avail these benefits?
So probably that's one reason today is the biggest buzzword in the industry is NPS. This offers three multiple tax benefits. One is under 80cc D1, where any citizens of India who can avail up to 1.5 lakhs of tax saving, 1.5 lakhs, and an exclusive tax benefit only which is offered to NPS. That's where it's become very attractive, 80cc D1B. So an individual who can actually save up to 2 lakhs under NPS, under 80cc D1 and 80cc D1B. Other than that, there is also a special offer for corporate employees. The corporate can contribute, or employer can contribute up to 10% of his salary at deduction and part under NPS. So which can go up to a 7.5 lakhs limit of taxation. So there's three places one can avail the tax benefit, as I mentioned, a 2 lakhs on overall for individuals and salaried class. Other than this 2 lakhs, he can also exercise under 80cc D. So even if you look at it, the design of the product is such that, as I mentioned, this offers one of the lowest price product across globally. This also give you multiple asset investment option. This also allowed for all citizens of India. So that is also a wider spectrum of people can participate on this. While you're investing, there is a special slab of 50,000 under ICICID 1B, which is the most beneficial or exclusive benefit what NPS offers. Yeah, Tanya.
Okay.
So anything on the taxation you would like to have further details, Tanya?
So, which means, sir, that as a corporate NPS subscriber, yes, sir. One can be a subscriber, one can have a benefit of both.
Yes, I think your voice is slightly feeble. For a corporate subscriber, he can avail all the three benefits. For all citizens, they can avail the first two benefits, ICICID 1 and ICICID 1B.
As question will be that is NPS only for retirement planning, or it can also be used to achieve any other life goals like children education or buying a car or buying a house?
Of course, the primary objective of the design of this product from PFRD is to provide a secure lifestyle even after your retirement. One is primarily will help you to invest consistently and regularly into an investment scheme. So initially it's an investment scheme, and there are two tiers of option where one can park his money under NPS. The tier 1 is primarily help you for a long-term investment. Your investment will be blocked till the time of maturity, where the particular investment can attract an annuity later stage on the maturity. Coming to tier 2, it offers a multiple requirement of individuals can be met through this. Why it is so attractive in nature? One is on the cost side, it is highly competitive. Second, on the flexibility of investment, it is almost operate like a saving bank account. So while tier 2 does not give you any tax benefit as it is, but tier 1 gives you multiple tax benefit, as I mentioned, under ICICID 1 and ICICID 1B and ICICID 2. These are the three tax benefit one can have the privilege under tier 1. Tier 2 offers you flexibility. It's operate like a saving bank account. So your question was whether it's meant only for retirement purpose or can be met all other requirements or different requirements of individual through NPS. Yes, of course, yes. The simple reason that at tier 2, under tier 2, one can have an access up to 100% equity investment at a lower price. And as I mentioned, one can withdraw as in when you wish. One can invest as in when you require any amount of money, even from a 500 to a 50 lakhs of money can be parked under tier 2. So for a shorter duration of goals, one can utilize tier 2 very wisely and smartly with very low cost, investment cost at tier 2.
Okay. So, sir, now that we understand that there are tax benefits in NPS and also it can be used for a wealth creation option. So my next question will be to Mr. Shiva Kumar to understand what are the investment choices one customer has under NPS.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for inviting me to this interesting session. Coming to your question, Tanay, there are basically two choices to a subscriber in the NPS system. That is basically an active choice and an auto choice. So broadly, first I'll start with what are the asset classes which are available in the NPS scheme. There are broadly three asset classes: equities, wherein we invest in the equity markets. We have a corporate bond scheme, wherein we principally invest in the bonds of companies, both private and public. And then we have a third investment class, which is basically where we invest in central government and state government bonds. So those are the three primary asset classes that are available for a subscriber. If a subscriber is savvy enough to choose, wherein he's able to make the choice about the allotment between the various asset classes, he can go for the active choice. In that active choice, the subscriber himself decides where his fund would go in terms of the asset allocation. For example, I can put 50% in equity, or maybe 25% in government securities and 25% in corporate bond scheme. So basically that choice gives the the ability to choose between the asset classes to the subscriber himself. But if there is another choice called the auto choice, this is basically for subscribers who do not want to make that active choice and who want to give that choice be driven by the system itself. So here the system itself allots the subscribers money to various asset classes depending on the age bracket in which the subscriber currently is. So even within this, the subscriber has to choose between three styles. There is an aggressive style, there is a moderate style, there is a conservative style. So basically, once a customer chooses an aggressive style, he will have a slightly higher allocation to equity. As you're all aware, equity is known to carry a slightly higher risk compared to the debt market. So in an aggressive style, you can clearly see on the screen that the equity allocation for a subscriber till the age of 35 years is on the higher side. While if I move to the other extreme, which is a conservative choice, there the equity allocation has been limited to 25%. So depending on the age bracket of the customer and as he moves towards his retirement age, you can clearly see that the allotment to the equity class starts coming down. So the system itself by default brings down the exposure to equities, and on the other hand, it increases the exposure to the debt, the bond, corporate bonds, and the government securities. So this is to ensure that the risk that the customer faces comes down as he moves towards his retirement age.
Okay. So, sir, how risky is this investment in NPS, and what are the returns that one can expect by investing in NPS?
Yeah, it's a very relevant question that any subscriber would face once he's presented with this opportunity of investing in NPS. As I said, there are three classes within the NPS scheme: equities, corporate bonds, and government securities. I will delve more on the equities part because obviously customers would be worried about the risk that comes along with equity. But if you go back to our market history, we have seen that while the risk associated with equity markets is definitely on the higher side compared to the debt markets, but if you give it a longer term exposure, the risk actually comes down and the ability to generate higher return vis-a-vis the debt markets increases. So we have seen equity markets delivering over something like 12 to 14% over the longer term. For example, for our own ICICI scheme, here we present the actual returns that we are able to generate for the subscribers. You can see that the 10-year return for the equity scheme is by far the highest among the three schemes at about 12.5%. And we believe even going forward, our Indian market should be able to kind of generate this return over the next 10-year time frame. So like I said in the past, it's essential for a subscriber to start early, start with a higher exposure to equity scheme, and then slowly bring it down as he moves closer to his retirement age. So this allotment to the various asset classes is the key to be able to manage the risk that is present within this entire NPS system itself. I hope I answered your question, Tanay.
Right. So, sir, as we understand from this returns expectations, that in the short term, one can see a lot of volatility in the market. Whereas
right.
If one look from a longer 10-year perspective, then there is not much of a volatility and one can earn a good inflation beating return, which is in double digits.
Exactly.
Right. So,
very well
so as per you, what is your market outlook in NPS in 2023 or in the next 1 or 2 years upcoming?
See, obviously, the short-term outlook of the market is higher volatility because of various reasons, be it global or domestic. Obviously, the near-term global macroeconomic picture doesn't look great because of various reasons, inflation being higher, interest rates on the higher side and all. But going forward, especially from an Indian market point of view, I'm really bullish if you take a 5 to 10-year time frame. The reasons being that finally India might actually see its manufacturing coming in and firing big time. We are also seeing private capex taking off after a lot of delay. I think after a span of almost 10 years, companies are again talking about increasing their capacity because the capacity utilization is on the higher side within the economy. Public capex will also hopefully take off. We are also looking forward to the budget as to how it will pan out. And if you take the nifty earnings growth expectations, this range from somewhere close to 12% to 15%. And typically, if you go by the past history, market returns typically track the earnings returns. So if one is sure that going forward over the next decade, India is able to generate something like 12 to 14% over the longer term, then our returns from the same market would also be along similar lines, maybe a 12 to 14% return. So that is the earnings expectation that I would go with as far as the Indian market is concerned. And if you take a slightly global view, and if you want me to pick up a market, I would definitely choose India, not because we reside in India, but even if you talk to various global fund managers, there is definitely some excitement about the Indian market, which was never heard of in the previous years. So obviously things are going in the right direction for our economy, and hopefully the government would also give the essential impetus to ensure that the momentum within the economy stays strong. Yeah, that's the equity outlook. Yeah, and I'll just also go through that. Yeah, Tanay, go on.
Yes, I just like to know the debt outlook also from you,
sure.
And what are the investment philosophy that you are following while investing through ICICI Prudential pension funds?
Sure. Yeah, I'll just start off with the debt outlook. Obviously, the interest rates were going through a hiking cycle for the last 1 year. Almost about 250 bips of interest rate hikes were done by the central bank. Now the repo rate is close to 6.25. But as a fund house, our internal view is that maybe we are looking at another 25 bips hike, 6.5 repo rate. I think that will be the end of the cycle, post which the interest rate should stay stable, or maybe after a 6-month period start coming down, because we believe that the inflation readings within the economy should start coming down because of various factors, including the base effect also. So after 1 year, obviously the base effect will kick in, and the inflation, which was trending at around 7%, might start coming down closer to 5%. So that is the view we hold in-house, and we believe that the debt markets, which saw a lot of stress over the last 1 year because of this interest rate hiking cycle, should now stabilize. And from now on, maybe 6 months down the line, we should also see the rates slightly coming off also. This is also true for the global market. So that is our view internally. And coming to our own investment philosophy, it's a very pertinent question now that we are discussing ICICI pension fund here. See, the fact is we are single objective of the investment management team is to maximize the risk-adjusted returns for the clients. We are very conscious of the fact that the investors who are putting money in the pension fund are basically saving it for their retirement objective, right? And this is one of the most crucial objective of any salaried or self-employed person, because obviously the lifespans are increasing, and while our salaries will stop after retirement, inflation will continue. So we need to be very conscious of the fact that the subscribers are saving for their retirement, wherein they also need to take care of their post-retirement costs. So having said that, what that brings in is the additional responsibility that we balance risk and returns for the subscribers within the fund. By that, what I mean is, while we ensure that the capital is extremely safe, a testimony to that fact is the fact that we were I think one of the funds which had no issues when the corporate debt crisis happened over the last 2 years, starting with the DHFL crisis. I think while some of the funds had some issues, we were one fund which didn't have any default per se. So that shows the kind of credit underwriting that takes place internally. So we have ensured that the capital is extremely safe. There's no loss of capital within the fund. But at the same time, we have also ensured that we don't compromise in terms of the yields that we are able to generate for the clients. In fact, as we speak, I think we are one of the funds with the highest yield among the corporate bond scheme. So that should ensure. So basically, this is basically a tightrope walk for the fund manager to balance the risk and returns for the clients. Touchwood, we have been able to manage it in a great fashion since inception, and hope we continue the same journey going forward.
That's great to know, sir, that ICICI Pru pension funds is giving the superior risk-adjusted returns. So now that we know the tax benefits in NPS, as well as how one can invest and create wealth in NPS, my next question will be to Mr. Srikumar to understand how can one open an NPS account through ICICIdirect.
Yeah, thanks, Anay. I mean, in fact, I have earlier touched upon what are the key benefits of NPS and what are the tax benefits available. Now, Shiv elaborated what is the importance of managing fund on a longer tenure with the safety in mind, but equally aggressive, because India, like a market, is quite aggressive on the inflation side. So thereby one need to manage the fund to match the returns what is expected out of the investors. While ISIC offers a brilliant platform, probably one of the best journey available in the industry, ICICI Securities site, if you go, there is a special session for NPS where you can choose on the NPS and subscribe for NPS. Initially, I mentioned there's something called PRAN, Permanent Retirement Account Number. This requires a KYC norms as per the Indian regulation. The regulator asked for it. Fortunately, all of you have blessed that on ICICI Security. You are part of this journey. I mean, it's already captured for you. So that will help you to reduce the requirement of inputs to be incorporated there. You also aware there is about multiple fund managers are there. Of course, Shiv was there. ICICI Prudential Fund Management is there. You have seen on a longer term our returns and how we managing across asset class. In case if you see any challenges on PRAN opening, you have a call assistance available. But however it is, before you go into investment, I strongly suggest have a look at the retirement calculator which is available there. As I mentioned, this can be availed by any citizens of India who is above 18 and within 70 years of old. And this also can be bought by NRIs or CR, citizens, Indian origin any Indian origin can invest into NPS. So it's a very large spectrum what is PFRDA is, provided here. This one product under one umbrella gives you a opportunity to stay invested with a corporate bond, government bond, or multiples of this, or to stay with equity of 75%. So it's a very large spectrum for one to participate in the investment angle. And of course, this year, those who are looking at a 50,000 ATCC D1B can get this benefit of investing by 50,000. So for that, first one need to go to NPS section of ICICI Securities, open your PRAN. Once you open your PRAN, you can contribute money towards one of the fund houses. Within that, once you park your money, within 1 or 2 days, your overall transaction details will get featured in your account, and there you can collect your tax receipt. So there is a CRA who provides you the details, but otherwise in ICICI Securities, you have a live capturing of your details. This is one of the few POPs which offer this service. So that way, ICICI Securities has created a brilliant platform for any customer to open up a brand here and start investing into NPS.
Right. So, sir, my next question will be to understand how can one take out money from NPS?
See here, so objective is it's a very long-term investment, Tanay, and those who are listening to it, because it's well curated, well thought. It's a brilliant product. I mean, ideally, I would say all Indians should be very proud of this instrument of NPS because it's curated such a way that one can actually choose when to invest, when to stay back according to the money availability. You can invest. You can even, it's not necessary that once you invest your money, you will have to continuously contribute the same throughout the years. You can have just continue your account with 1,000 rupees initial, yearly payment too. But however, your question was on the withdrawal side. So one is eligible to withdraw after 3 years of investment up to 25%. Those are, partial withdrawals, and prematurity withdrawal. If you want to discontinue with the plan, which can be availed after 5 years, where 20% you can withdraw tax-free, and 80% of your investment will go into annuity. There also you have an additional advantage. Up to 2.5 lakhs, it's 100% tax-free withdrawal is still available with this. In case of any unfortunate events happens for the investor, the entire money is returned to the nominees as per the nominations given. But ideally, this product is a systematic investment for a very long time. So thereby, it's like a superannuation. Here on 60 years, his money gets matured. On maturity, he can avail an annuity. Either he can exercise the 100% money what is created as a kitty, or he is eligible to withdraw 60% of his total investment and corpus tax-free. So that's a huge amount. I mean, 60% one can have the ability or given a privilege of withdrawing, and 40% can be parked under annuity choice. And here annuity can be chosen as per any annuity provider in the industry. There is no restrictions as it is. And some of the annuities providers are giving additional investment. And as a group, ICICI, if you look at it, even annuity can be offered through us. So the entire holistic investment is the package is available for investor here. On the retirement, I mean, on the maturity, I've told you one can withdraw up to 60% without tax-free, and the 40 can be bought for annuity.
Okay, so now that we understand the NPS product and its benefits, so and I would like to go to the questions posted by our audience today in the YouTube chat box. And before going to the questions, I'd just like to share that if you have any further questions post this session, you can post your queries to npshelpdesk@icicidirect.com, and our team will answer you back. Right. So the first question that we have in the chat is that can we do SIP investment in NPS?
Yeah, Tanay, I assume it's to me. I will answer that. Yes, as I mentioned, there is 2 tier available for an NPS account. One is tier 1 and tier 2. In both the places, you can exercise the SIP opportunity. And the beauty of it, one can actually have an SIP at the rate of even at 500 rupees per month. And I know it's again voluntarily contribution. So one can choose when to continue with it, or in case if you wish to increase the contribution, you can do that. So minimum of 500 rupees can be chosen for SIP, and this is available with ICICI Security investment option as well.
Great. Now another query is that is corporate NPS acting as an alternative to EPF, which is the Employers Provident Fund?
So, of course, there is both as meant for a retirement option. But here, the advantage I said I was mentioned during the discussion, there is a pension calculator which is available. So there is no restriction for somebody to create a wealth here. There is no restriction for somebody to have a pension plan according to this lifestyle to be created here. So that's where it works beautifully. So, my suggestion is when you have, of course, it's not really comparable as it is, but on a return side, NPS stand way ahead. You would have seen the returns, what is projected by SHIV on the system. I mean, what are the actual returns, what we have projected, wherein, the other products stand away from that, the current return, what NPS offer, and the multiple tax benefit, what the product as of now available in the market.
Right. So, so the next question is, can one remain invested in NPS up to 75% till the age of 60?
Yes, I mean, earlier it was suggested that as per the aging, one can, change his investment. Today, so you would have heard from, Shiv talking about it. India being a journey of, any country which is going to travel on a 2.5 trillion to 5 trillion journey, we have seen that average return from starting from 18 to 24%. So that's a beauty. India is on a GDP growth of 2.5 trillion to 5 trillion. If that journey one can stay invested at equity, large presence, I'm sure one can create immense wealth under this. And the kind of pricing this product, that's the beauty of this product. It's phenomenal. So I'm sure, we have sessions kept there. The links are available. I'm not going into the, multiple benefits of the pricing there, but one can be very sure that, there is a huge impact it is creating because the product is designed such a way that over a period of 10, 15 years, this can give you a super compounding effect through NPS.
Right. Now, the next question is, do we mandatorily need to contribute in NPS every year?
See, this contribution will definitely help you. First of all, I mentioned there is a whole lot of tax benefits there. If you're a salaried person, of course, your contribution on a regular basis happens. And good thing is this plan can be shifted with even if you're a salaried person, it can be shifted. And individuals also can choose to not to invest. They can take a break in between, but a minimum contribution of 1,000 will help you to stay active, your account to be active. So thereby 1,000 rupees contribution on a yearly basis will help you to keep your account active.
Right. There has been a question on how to set up SIP in tier 2.
Okay. So there is option which is available, tier 1 and tier 2 options are available in ICICI journey, where one can choose whether you want to do it on tier 1. So for tier 1, mostly people invest 50,000 and 1.5 lakhs in case they are not exercised at ATCCD. So they do that. And tier 2, they sometimes open SIP because it gives you a flexibility of withdrawal. So one can choose where he wants to have this investment park. So this year, if you're not exercising your 50,000, I suggest you can invest 50,000 and make the benefit of exclusivity of tax advantage there. And start an SIP on tier 1 for the year coming, so that you don't have to contribute 50,000 at one go. You will get the advantage of market averaging and other so on. In tier 2 as well, you can invest on SIP as well as on a bulk amount, and it's free to withdraw at any point you wish. So both the places is available, Tani.
Okay. So the next question is more directed towards Shiva sir, that there is a question on how much return can one expect from bond fund in next 2 to 3 years?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question given where the interest rates are poised. But I think, like I said during the presentation, we feel that the interest rates have kind of peaked, right? And currently, if I take a AAA, I think given the lack of liquidity within the system, somewhere around we are able to generate somewhere around 7.5 to 8-ish. So I would, if you're asking me, especially for the next 2 to 3 years, I think the corporate bond fund should be able to generate at least 7.5 to 7.7. That's the rate that I would be expecting from this fund. I think, Tana, you're there? Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, sir. One last question we have, that can someone shift their NPS account, eNPS account, to ICICI Securities with the same plan? So I'll take this question that yes, it's possible. So if your CRA is NSDL, then you just need to log into your NSDL account, and from the top left you see an option for transact online. Under there you will have an option for intersector shifting. There from there you can shift your account to the POP to whom you want. You just need to know the POPSP registration number. So for those specific details, you can write into NPS helpdesk at ICICIdirect.com. Our team will help you with that. Okay, so with this we come to an end with the questions in the chat box. So I'd like to thank all of you for attending this session and our esteemed.
So thank you all. I believe there is some bandwidth issue at the NAS level. So wishing all the very best, because a great tax session is ahead. Season is ahead. So make the best of NPS investment. And Shiva's mentioned about the returns on the investment one can earn. So make the best of your investment return as well. So Shiv, thanks, and Tanay and all the participants, thank you so much. And special mention to ICICI team for giving ICICI Approved here for this opportunity. So otherwise, please write to us. We are welcome any time. Welcome to questioners on any of the subject on NPS. Yeah, thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.